what else, do you have any more?
I got a question. Are we paying somebody to do a comprehensive plan for us? Are we paying somebody to do a comprehensive plan?
Yes,
You're a consultant, it's paid.
he died.
We just paid him $1,800.
A little bit more about it.
I'm sorry.
Could you tell us what's going on with the company?
Yes, he did. The consultant passed away. His
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him.
Right at
I
this
don't care to talk to you.
Right at this point in time, the engineering firm that was selected and hired by the Township, they have assembled a good bit of information. The lead planner passed away recently, so that's slowed things down, but I received an email from the wife of who also works for the firm, asking how many copies of the work product that's been done to date that the Township would like. And they will be sending that within the next week. And I'll be disseminating that to not only to the Planning Commission, but to the Board of Supervisors as well.
Have there been any meetings with him before he passed away?
No, not at this point now.
So is the wife taking over?
No, the principal of the engineering firm is taking over.
The wife?
We need to meet with him.
Yes. His name is Ron Olson from Olson Engineering.
Wilson Engineering.
Olson, O-L-S-E-N.
Okay.
Well, maybe once we get this update, we can meet with them and review it first.
Yeah, that would be.
What happened to the steering committee?
Have you ever had a meeting with Olson Engineering?
I did back in January, and
Planning Commission?
no, I met with as a kickoff meeting. I gave the engineering firm a lot of information, which then they were compiling as part of the statistics for the comprehensive plan. This gentleman was hospitalized in February, and he was never recovered. So therefore, that's the reason for the slowdown. The steering committee together to supplement with the current planning commission. And I remember that there was a public service announcement put in the local paper, if I recall, with my correct on that, and looking for volunteers. I don't believe I only received one letter from you.
There's probably about a total of 4 or 5 interested parties, of which I've received letters.
I didn't send a letter, I want to be on it, I told you that from day one.
You did, yes.
Yeah, Bruce, I think once we get this updated work up to this point, then we need to meet with them, and then we can move forward to do everything we've got to do, including doing this steering committee at that point.
We're being billed. It's about $8,800, I think it is.
For what?
That's what you're going to see.
No, for work that's been performed today.
And pay for his funeral.
And we will receive that work product.
We bury him.
It's Crystal. Yeah, what?
You have a contract with him?
Well-
Anybody sign a contract? Tommy, is there a contract with
Yes,
him?
there is, yes, there.
Well, why didn't you answer me?
You ask that every time. You ask
No, I didn't. This is the first time I ever asked. You guys are pulling some kind of shit here. You don't want nobody to know.
What else? You done with us with?
Tommy, you're ignorant. How you just ignore people. You're very ignorant.
Ron, let me answer your question. I did ask the same question. A contract was signed on May 15th. I have a copy of it. I haven't had a chance to look at it since I got it, but Don had told me that he signed it, the supervisors did not. That's all that I can tell you.
Well, why wasn't it in here? Why is it such a big secret?
I'm not making any sense.
I didn't say you were. Why is it such, why ain't any announcements?
What announcement do you want? We're working towards it.
I'm not talking to you. I said I don't like to talk to you because you lie. I'd rather talk to Tommy.
Chris,
No, I'd like to say something.
No, it's not, you don't want to argue, somebody's just going to argue
No,
back.
but you can't make an accusation that we're trying to hide something. We're
Oh,
working
yeah.
towards.
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, that's right, you can. Nobody believes it. Chris.
Oh, you think, Tom?
reports.
Tommy, where's your building permit for your new house? Where's your silt fence? You have no E&S in it. Am I lying now?
Do you, Chris?
The two main issues are on the agenda. One was the institution of a lawsuit regarding the Fawcett Church Road copy to determine the township's rights regarding drainage easement. And second, as already discussed, council will be meeting with Judge Emery to discuss the matters involving Mr. Buchaney's amended complaint.
What about the Hoffichter apartment? You had some information you had to give us in executive session, Don's told me.
Is that what we're looking to purchase?
What?
Yeah. So if you want to go into it?
Well, not yet, I'm gonna go through the reports. You have anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Dawn?
You know, I have a question I wanted to ask. You did send out an email about the permits that other township has used for road crossings. And I reviewed them. I don't know if the other supervisors looked at them, but Chris, I think there's some good ideas in there. It doesn't say that you can't give a permit out to somebody, but it also does give a lot more information. So whenever we do have to grant these permits for road crossings other than a utility company, we know a lot more about it. I mean, that's something we need to look into.
Chris,
Some of
I
those
didn't receive
ordinances are
that.
good.
Did you send it?
I'll double check and make sure everybody gets it.
Can you resend them out to everybody, Chris, so we have them? So we
And they were just samples from other municipalities.
And Dawn, I have a question. On your report, thinking about what the township's manager, Univest, and over the past 2 years, the overall return on investments has exceeded the benchmark set. And the bottom line of that is what?
The bottom line of that is, well, yes, that's one point. The other is that the plans perform well. Another reason is that every 2 years you can make adjustments to the way your pension plan is funding. He meaning Ron Bittner with Univest, will be coming back to the board in 2 months and want to talk about different investment strategies for the board to implement to try to help keep those MMO costs down.
And how much lower is it going to be this year?
He didn't tell me how much, he didn't speculate, but I mean, our MMOs for this year have already been set in our budget. Those were what was prepared last year and instituted into the board's budget. This would be in moving forward. So this could impact our MMOs that would be required for 2016. He said probably in about 2 months, within 2 months, so I'll send out, once again, some dates for the boards to try to listen in on his presentation.
Okay, and one other thing, I'd really like to have the reports at the meeting, Tom, because here we are at the end and you're trying to rush me through, and if each of our professionals were given the reports, I would be able to respond and ask questions at that time. So I'm asking you to again have those put on the agenda. How you doing? Now, having said that, I think that we asked Ron to get pricing for us to change our website or to get someone who knows more about websites.
Yes, that's correct. And proposals were sent to the board.
Right.
There are 2 firms that primarily their primary area of expertise is municipal website design.
Firms, did you say?
Yes, one I want to say is eGov, and
I think you only sent us one.
yeah, they're not local firms, but there are 2. Those individuals are ready to come in and give a presentation at any time. They'll be happy to come in, show you examples, show you what they can do, how much information they can take, how much interactivity you can have on their website. It's going to be, I figure it's a matter of particular,
Can we schedule that?
okay, that's fine, I'll move forward with those. Okay,
Do what?
I'll schedule a meeting for them to come down and make a presentation to the board.
Okay, I think, what are they? There's a Mike Chaluka from Gov Office Web Solutions in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, is there another one?
There's another one too, I think it's eGov. If you look at the majority of websites in our area, in Worcester, Maine, Peters Township, I mean, Upper Sinclair, name it, Scott Township, there's either one of these two companies are doing their websites, and they're very interactive, nicely laid out so that they're not confusing. I think our website is confusing. Ease of use in these other websites, and both of these firms have a very good
I don't understand what the other one is, because I only have one.
I'll send both of those to you again tomorrow, and then I'll set up a presentation.
I have a question for you too, Don. We had a meeting with the DEP over the Worcester, Cecil 23 impoundment last summer, and they were supposed to get us some results by April, May this year. Have you got any results from them yet?
I have received no responses from the DEP after numerous emails. Our point of contact,
Again?
yes, our point of contact, I sent an email just last week, today's Monday, so Wednesday of last week. Not received a response.
Okay, that's all I have.
I have another question of Bruce. As I recall, the Olson Engineering, Mr. Olson, before he passed away, was supposed to meet regarding the McConnell property.
That's correct.
Are we still getting someone else to?
Their firm will be looking into this as well. I'll be talking with them again this coming week. On April 24th, I was supposed to meet the individual. We were going to walk the property, and he, from my understanding, he had several notes. So I'm going to circle back with the owner of the firm.
How are they going to help us determine whether we want a zoning change on the McConnell property?
Well, they will make the recommendation. They will look into it as a municipal planning aspect of it.
That's really not their function for individual recommendations of individual properties as they come up.
Tom, I have a question. When we used to give reports, verbal reports, to fire departments, I used to torture meetings every month and ask the same question. 9 months, we've been handing in reports.
Can you speak up, Tony?
We're handing in reports. You read the reports about the accidents every month at 980 and O'Hara and Chartiers that are still happening. And every month you used to tell me, not you, but whoever on the board used to say that the flashing lights are going to be installed, but you dropped the ball on PennDOT, that it's their fault. When? It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult.
What's remaining right now, Tony, is property acquisition. The township has to acquire property or an easement from a property owner on the western side of 980. The plans were just received and finalized last month back from PennDOT after Gateway submitted them. We just finally received those plans back. I've been on the phone with Mike Haberman, who is Gateway's traffic engineer. We've worked out the aspects of one section of property that will occur within right-of-way, so we don't have to acquire property or easement. We're remaining to work out the details of the other side, Dan, and I will be doing that very shortly.
Prepared to submit to that property owner?
All right, soon, that's what the company is working on.
You're ready.
Excuse me, Dan. Excuse me, is it going to be a flashing or is it going to be a not red light?
No, there will not be a flashing light at that intersection. There will just be advanced warning signs as you approach that intersection of flashing lights indicating of an intersection ahead.
Okay, but there's not going to be any red lights or...
No, not at the intersection, right.
They're wasting their time.
Yeah, they are.
They're wasting their time. Wasting time and money.
Bill, do you have anything?
No.
Dan?
Nothing additional.
Chief?
No.
Joe? Where the fire departments, anything other than the carnival coming up and gonna use anything? Tell us about it.
We received